Okay, let's go ahead and get started. My name is Mark Ross. I am a sales rep with the Tectum company. And as you know, this is the AMA. This is Ask Me Anything. David is also here, David Track. Oliver's here. Ken is here. The whole team is not here, but we are here. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started. First, as always, just a quick intro for those of you who need to understand what Tectum is really all about. Let me go ahead and do a quick screen share, and then we can go ahead and get started on just a quick intro. Okay, this is Tectum, folks. Right now, initially, what you're going to learn, and this is what I learned about when I first found Tectum, I realized it was the fastest blockchain in the world. They also have an incredible full-featured wallet, and then they have their flagship product called the Soft Note. Now, just really quickly, if you want to go to the website, it's tectum.io. You can learn all about the team if you click on Our Team here. You can go in and do all the research you want to, but this is a quick intro. For those of you who want to do a lot more due diligence, go for it. But I'm going to give you the nuts and bolts and what's truly revolutionary about Tectum. What is so special? Well, first off, as I had mentioned to you, we are the fastest blockchain in the world. And if you wanted to do a quick comparison, you could see that Bitcoin itself, which is pretty much the beginning of blockchain and cryptocurrency, does 7 transactions approximately per second. Moving up to Ethereum is 25 transactions per second. You can see that Dogecoin does 33 transactions per second. Litecoin, as we all have heard of, is also 56. So you can see as these technologies have come out, they can do more and more transactions. Their blockchains become more and more efficient. And you can, if you go all the way up to what I think is probably the second fastest blockchain that we know of without sharding. By the way, some people will talk about how they can do even more, but that's with sharding. Okay, this is just the base blockchain functionality. Phantom can do up to 300,000 transactions per second, and Tectum can do well over 1 million transactions per second at peak performance, as much as 1.38 million transactions per second. And like I said, there's some companies out there that claim they can do more. To be honest with you, the way I understand blockchain, and I'm not the absolute blockchain expert, but I just don't see much of a reason to do more than 1.38 million transactions per second. But it's a really neat thing to understand about this technology and about this blockchain. But let's get into the flagship product and why most of you are here tonight, or most of you are listening to this recording. And that is the flagship product, the Soft Note. Well, it all really begins with Bitcoin. As most of us can say that our introduction to cryptocurrency was through Bitcoin. Bitcoin is really the beginning of blockchain. And I don't know about you guys, but when I found out about Bitcoin initially, I kind of ignored it because I thought it was just some guy had created some cryptocurrency, and you know, maybe you can relate to that. I just thought maybe it was just some kind of Ponzi scheme, like, okay, you created this currency, right? And we're supposed to invest in it and buy it and use it like a currency and buy pizza and buy all this stuff with it. I'm thinking, why should I use a currency that someone else invented? You know, it just didn't make sense to me. But then I started to understand blockchain. And the thing that really got me excited about blockchain is the fact that it's decentralized, the fact that it doesn't need the central authorities, banks, governments, financial institutions to verify it. You can actually make financial transactions all over the world without the centralized necessity of like those things. And it's so secure and it cannot be duplicated. And the things that I learned about blockchain is what really blew me away. And that was pretty much around 2017. And then I watched Bitcoin kind of start to become a household name. I mean, whether you had bought Bitcoin or not, you started to learn about it. And everybody, just about everybody has heard of it. And now there's millions and millions of people that own Bitcoin. And Bitcoin went from like 1/10 of a penny to as high as $69,000 a coin, you know, over that at its peak. And it's currently sitting close to what, 19, 20,000. I haven't checked today, somewhere around the 19, 20,000 mark. And so I'm going to go ahead and unmute you too, Dave, so that you can participate. I know you're not wanting to say anything just yet, but so anyway, you had Bitcoin, and it's an awesome, incredible concept, this blockchain technology. But here's the problem. As the network begins to grow, If you're looking at your screen right now, these are examples of what are called Bitcoin mining. See, Bitcoin needs a concept called mining to help the blockchain actually function. Okay. Now, I'm not going to get into the explanation of Bitcoin mining or anything like that, but the bottom line is this: the bigger the network gets, the more people that use it, the slower it becomes, the more cumbersome it is. So you have your slow processing times, but also even worse, you have fees involved. So this is exactly why Bitcoin cannot currently cross the retail boundary. So it doesn't ever make sense for you to go to your local coffee shop and buy a cup of coffee with Bitcoin. I mean, if you want to buy a $2, $3, $5 cup of coffee, depending on where you go, it doesn't make sense for you to wait up to 30 minutes potentially, right, with the merchant, and pay fees, which could range anywhere from 25 cents up to like $7. I mean, I've seen them as high as $10 with certain exchanges. So it really does not make sense, nor is it practical to also to go, like, for instance, to the supermarket and use Bitcoin to buy goods and services at the supermarket. And so that's where we come into what our flagship product is, and that is the soft note. Introducing the soft note. Now, as you can see, this particular soft note is in Bitcoin. And of course, we're going to begin with Bitcoin because that's the most well-known cryptocurrency in the world. It's the most widely used and trusted cryptocurrency. And as you can see, if you take a look at it on the right-hand side, you can see it has its own Bitcoin wallet address on the blockchain, right? It also has its own serial number here and its own QR code for the authenticity to absolutely verify its authenticity. And also on the blockchain, you can see this is its address to verify its value. So now what you have is like a letter of credit. I want you to kind of think about this for a second so you can imagine the possibilities. Try to remember this, okay? If someone taught you that the Federal Reserve began backing US dollars by gold, right? Because it doesn't really make sense if you go way back in time where gold is the universal currency, right? I compare Bitcoin to gold. Why? Because Bitcoin is the universal currency of crypto, right? Whereas gold was the universal currency of the world. Like, that's how people spent money. If you went way back in time, you would see that people could actually carry around gold coins and spend gold as well as silver, right, to actually buy goods and services. Well, they started realizing that that wasn't practical. It didn't make sense. Well, the Federal Reserve created, of course, the Federal Reserve note, which is the US dollar backed by gold originally. But what ended up happening? What ended up happening is they took us off what they called the gold standard, and the Federal Reserve began to print money at will, no longer backed by a tangible, finite asset, but simply backed by speculation, by economies, by whatever value they could come up with to give you the value of the dollar. And so now the market waits like every month to find out what is the value of the dollar. Is it up? Is it down? And how much it can be manipulated and controlled. And so that's the beauty of what we see now with Bitcoin. But like I said, the inherent problems with Bitcoin is it's not practical. It cannot cross the retail boundary. It is never going to make sense for Bitcoin in and of itself to go into the coffee shop, to go into the supermarket. It's never going to make sense. Now it does. See, this incredible, ingenious invention by Alex Gusev, he put together something that I truly believe could totally, dramatically revolutionize the entire crypto industry. This soft note that you see before you, I want you to kind of imagine. Now we have an example of a digital version of a particular currency that is now a letter of credit, just like the Federal Reserve note is, only in this case, truly backed by a finite asset, Bitcoin. Think about that. That means whatever this is worth today will be worth exactly the same 10 years from now. It's not really going to matter. It's always going to be worth 0.001 Bitcoin. No more, no less. And Bitcoin will always have whatever value it has, but it gives you that tremendous security. But at the same time, now the practicality. Now you can actually take Bitcoin into any merchant that will set up a Tectum merchant account and agree to receive Bitcoin on the soft note. Now, the customers of Bitcoin, the customers of retail shops all over the world that set up Tectum merchant accounts can now receive Bitcoin from their customers, and their customers can make these transactions instantly and free of fees. So now we just turned Bitcoin into a true currency as it was intended to be in the first place. You can now cross the retail boundary with Bitcoin. And folks, you can do this now. This is a living product. This is not a vision. This is not something that's coming soon. We are currently able to mint and provide liquidity to these soft notes in Bitcoin, as well as the USDT. I'm going to show you that as well, an example. This is what a USDT soft note in USDT actually looks like. You can see it also has its USDT wallet address, as well as its unique serial number and QR code, just like Bitcoin. Okay, so we're taking the crypto industry, an impractical industry, and we're actually making the cryptocurrency practical. And you used to hear about all these, and I've heard about it for years, since 2017 even, where I would hear people, you know, celebrities, big investors, people like that, they would talk about, you know, Bitcoin's not really a currency anymore, it's an asset. But I always used to scratch my head and think, what kind of an asset? You know, what makes Bitcoin such a great asset if you can't really use it? You know, if you can't do any actual transactions with it. And so that is what makes this so revolutionary. And so you can imagine now, I mean, you go into retail shops, for instance, and this is how it's going to spread. We're going to have our ISOs running around, going into merchants, going into retail shops and asking them, have you heard of Bitcoin? And a lot of them, an overwhelming number of them are going to say, not only have I heard of it, but I own Bitcoin and I love Bitcoin. I love blockchain. I'm fascinated with the technology. I think it's incredible. And that person can ask them, that sales rep, they can say, how would you like to be able to receive Bitcoin from all of your customers free and instantly? How would you like to be able to do that? And folks, that is what's going to bring about mass adoption of Bitcoin. And I want you to continue looking at your screen now, because I want you to realize we can create these soft notes in any particular denomination that we choose based on the value of Bitcoin. And if you go in and actually mint these soft notes, it only currently takes one Tectum token to mint 100 soft note bills right now. This is an introductory offer for early adopters. It's really exciting. That's the actual utility and purpose of the Tectum token, is to mint soft notes. Then you can take Bitcoin or USDT currently, and you can provide liquidity into these soft notes, and then you can find these merchants. Now, what would give you the incentive? You, the person who says, I like the Tectum token, I'm going to buy the Tectum token. I love soft notes, I'm going to mint soft notes. But what gives you the incentive to go into those merchants and go to that merchant and say, how would you like to be able to receive Bitcoin free and instant from your customers? Well, because the merchant's going to pay a 1% fee. Now, some might say, oh, they got to pay a fee. Well, you know what? They're already paying 2 to 3% in fees with Visa and MasterCard merchants, right? So they set up a merchant account with Visa and MasterCard. They're going to lose 2 or 3% every time they get a transaction. Well, with soft notes, they're only going to lose 1%. 1%. And you, as the soft note minter and liquidity provider, are going to earn 40% of that 1%. That means from now on, as long as your Bitcoin soft note goes out in circulation for the life of the soft note, you're going to be able to, every time it makes a transaction at that particular merchant, you're going to earn 40% of that 1% for the life of it. So what you ought to be able to envision now is there could be a lot of people that come out and want to mint and provide liquidity to, you know, thousands, even eventually tens of thousands of these soft notes, because you can potentially receive a residual income every time those soft notes are actually used at those merchants. Try to imagine that, how revolutionary this is to the entire crypto world. Okay. And we can, it doesn't just stop with Bitcoin and USDT. We can pretty much create a soft note in just about any type of cryptocurrency in existence. If you want to see examples of that, just continue looking at your screen. You can see the same principle as I just explained to you with Bitcoin. We can do with Litecoin. We can do with Tron. We can do with Doge. Okay, that's another very popular cryptocurrency. If you guys remember, I think it was Elon Musk as well as Mark Cuban. I like to bring up Mark Cuban. Elon Musk is a big promoter of Dogecoin. but so is Mark Cuban. And Mark Cuban is the owner of the NBA Mavericks team, who actually has made it so that people can spend Doge to buy Maverick tickets, right? But again, think about how impractical that is for people right now. It doesn't make sense. Like, why should I pay all these fees to spend Doge on tickets? But there are, you know, hundreds, thousands, maybe even tens, I would say easily tens of thousands of people that are Dogecoin holders that love the Dogecoin. And when they find out about the soft note, they're going to want to start using Doge soft notes, right? And so it's really a very similar concept. As it gains in popularity, people are going to find out. And the more people, that's really the only thing, that's really the next step, I should say. Once we hit the exchange, which we haven't yet, but once we do, especially in a bull market, there's really good potential. So I want to show you on the website that currently we are in a pre-sale. Okay. Now you'll see a number here that says hard cap. That 10 million hard cap simply means that there's only 10 million Tectum tokens in existence. There will never be more than 10 million Tectum tokens in existence ever. Okay, so that is a finite value. There will never be more than 10 million tokens ever. We are currently selling the Tectum token. As you know, again, its purpose is to mint soft notes. You can buy those tokens currently for $3 a piece, and you set up a Tectum wallet. And what's great is typically people are doing that by being referred. Okay, so you can also refer people during the pre-sale only to purchase Tectum tokens, so that you can actually get Tectum token rewards. Okay, so if you start to refer people, you set up your wallet, you then can refer someone else with your referral link, which you'll see in your back office. And what you can do with that is refer people there. And for doing so, you're actually going to get a 10% bonus reward only during the pre-sale until we hit the exchanges. There's many tiers in that reward. It starts at 10%. And when I say tiers, what it means is that you're at the top, right? You're in that first tier. And when you refer someone, it's 10%. And if that person, if let's say his name is Joe, if Joe refers Sally, Sally goes ahead and decides to purchase some Tectum tokens. She wants to get involved. She's excited about soft notes. You'll get 5% of that purchase, okay? In Tectum rewards. More Tectum tokens you can accumulate. And so you can start to get a vision of that. If Sally brings someone in, you'll get 4%, and below that 3%, then 2%, then 1%. So there's actually 6 tiers of referrals you can earn in Tectum token bonuses for referring people to this during our pre-sale only. Remember, once we hit the exchange, the referral program and the rewards is absolutely over. It'll never come back. Okay, so this is your opportunity to refer people to Tectum if you so choose. And I want to give you guys kind of just a quick comparison. You can see some of the different projects that are out there. One of my favorite projects to kind of just look at is the Tron network. And the reason why, and I'm going to give you guys kind of a visual right now. I'm just going to highlight that Tron. Just keep your eye on that there. Matter of fact, I'll click on the link so you can just look at it. Okay. You can see Tron is actually being sold on the open market for just a little over 6 cents. So 6.27 cents right there. Now, what actually gives Tron that price? What gives Tron that price is it actually has a circulating supply. Remember when I talked about our supply, that it can never be more than 10 million? Well, this particular supply in circulation now is 92.31 billion with a B, right? So you're talking about, I don't know, what is that? 9,200 times more in terms of tokens that are in circulation than will ever be in circulation of Tectum tokens. But you also want to look at the market cap. The current market cap is 5.79 billion, okay? Market cap. So what you do in order to figure out, this is how the price, if for those of you who don't know this is exactly how the price of all cryptocurrencies are actually figured, is they will take the entire circulating supply, right? And they'll divide it by the market cap. And by doing that, you end up with the price of that particular token. Now, why do I bring up Tron as a project? One of the reasons I like to bring it up is because one of the things that Tron did for the stable token USDT is they made it cheaper and faster to actually use. I was talking to someone a few months ago, and this was when I was actually introduced to this, is he was going to send me about 2,000 USDT. And he said, what's your Tron USDT address? I said, what do you mean my Tron USDT address? I've never even heard of that. He said, yeah, if you use Tron, if you use the Tron network to actually do USDT transactions, it's actually a lot faster and a heck of a lot cheaper. I mean, like 15 times cheaper. What do I mean? Well, he was going to send me 2,000 USDT, and on the Ethereum network, it was going to cost him 15 USDTs to send me 2,000. On the Tron network, it only cost 1 USDT. So it was 15 times cheaper and faster. Okay. Now, when you make something cheaper and faster in a particular marketplace, you usually turn a lot of heads. And I think that had a lot to do with why Tron became very, very popular. I know Tron has other things about their project that are supposed to be spectacular. I'm not a Tron expert, but that's the one thing that I understand about Tron that made it very popular. And so I want you to just kind of consider what Tectum is doing with soft notes, because we're not just doing things with the USDT, we're doing some pretty neat things also with Bitcoin, right? And to me, Bitcoin is as big as it gets, right? Bitcoin is bigger than USDT in the crypto world. Bitcoin is the big daddy, right? And what we've done with Bitcoin is we have made it free and instant for transactions. And I think that is a tremendous value to the marketplace. And you guys can decide what you think that value is. But let's kind of just do, again, kind of a what if scenario, right? We can't make any guarantees again. And I should have said this at the beginning. We can't give financial advice here. We're not here to give you financial advice or try to predict the future or tell you what is going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. Nobody does, right? But what if? Let's just say, what if we were to reach a really high market cap? Okay, so if we were to get into a particular market cap, and by the way, what I'm going to do is you guys have already seen all these tokens, and if you want to, you can go to the coin market cap and you can look at all these different market caps and all of their potentials and things like that. But I'm going to kind of do a quick, I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and I'm going to open up the chat because it's obvious that we have a really good group here tonight. So let me just open up the chat here. If I can. Go, I think, did that open up the chat there, Dave? Let me unmute you.
Let me click on chat. Now
go ahead and click on chat and make sure we can open that up.
But look at my mute though, because last time I did that, I got muted out. Okay.
Okay. I think I made it so the chat's open.
Yeah, I think so.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Everybody go ahead. Okay, good. It's open. Excellent. Okay, now we are going to ask a question. Okay, let's see who can figure this out. We talked about the finite existence supply circulating. Well, not circulating. Nothing is truly circulating, I should say, except what has actually been sold in the pre-sale for Tectum tokens. But let's just say kind of a what if scenario. No predictions, just a what if. Let's say that our market cap reached a $6 billion market cap and all 10 million tokens were in circulation. What would then, if we were on the exchanges, which as you know, we're about to launch on Bitmart, what would happen if we reached a $6 billion market cap? What would the token be worth minimum on that particular exchange? Give me an answer. Everybody participate. You don't have to be first. Everybody just give me an answer. What do you think?
600.
If we were to have a $6 billion market cap, okay, someone guessed 600, someone guessed 6,000. Remember, the most that can be in circulation is 10 million tokens. What do you think that would be? 6,000. Okay, I got two answers at 6,000. I got one at 550. Okay, that's interesting. I got one at 60. All right, interesting. Anybody else want to guess? Anyone? If you answered 600, Ding, ding, ding. You are correct. $600. So that's if we were to reach a $6 billion market cap. So you guys can actually do your own research and kind of decide what you think is the potential. But that's actually what would happen if that were to happen. And so that's something that we like to just share with you on a factual basis. So I'm going to go ahead and also just open it up real quick. I'm going to open up the call. Let's see. Just want to make it so that
Well,
everyone.
Mark, while you're doing that, I'm going to make
Sure.
an announcement. So starting on the 22nd of this month into I believe the 6th of November, we're going to have a special where 250 members of Tectum will be able to earn up to $150,000. This is a huge airdrop giveaway that we're doing. So everybody stay tuned. Wow. Hop on our social media, from Facebook to Twitter to Telegram, Instagram, and so on, to get all the details.
Excellent.
Okay, so everybody stay tuned. Stay tuned. That's huge.
That is. Thanks, Dave, for that. Okay, now if anybody wants to ask a question, just go ahead and raise your hand. If you have any questions at all about what we just went over, please just raise your hand and I'll call you out. Okay, Alma, I just unmuted you. Go ahead. I just asked to unmute you. Go ahead, Alma.
Hi, Mark. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. Good presentation.
Thank you.
I'm not clear on the promotion. Do we have to keep looking until the October the 22nd to see the promotion, or how does it work?
Yes. Yes. So there's going to be a notification that will be sent. Most likely, I would imagine if you're in our mailing list, you'll be sent that as well. Yeah, so just be on the lookout for that airdrop information. So, and in fact, if you're on our social network site, we'd really appreciate if you guys could follow us, like us. It does help. We're all kind of involved together. So a rising tide lifts all ships, and we appreciate your support and help. So it's a part of the airdrop program.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thanks for the question. Love it. Okay, and if you can just take your hand down, I think there should be a way to do that. I can do that for you, actually. We'll go ahead and do that. Okay. Anybody else have a question? Please raise your hand and I will call you out. You can also ask in the chat as well. Either ask your question in the chat, or you can raise your hand and I'll call you out. Okay, I'll get to you, Oliver. I do have a question from Kevin. Was this one of the win some tech questions? I finally got the first correct answer. You know what? For you, it is, Kevin. I'm going to make sure to send you 10 free Tectum tokens just for asking. All right, buddy? We always love you here. You come here all the time, so we love having you, and you deserve it. So you will get 10 tokens, Kevin.
And he was the first one that got it right.
Yeah, he was. He actually was. So way to go, Kevin. And we didn't even bring out the incentive, and so he deserves it even more. I'm going to go to Juan next. Any airdrop for the top rankings of AMA questions? Ha ha ha! He's actually telling a joke there. Good one. Let's see here. How do we get on your mailing list? I'm not sure what he means by mailing list. Do you know, Dave? What does he mean by mailing list?
Yeah, you go. Well, if you go to tectum.io.
Oh, you mean if you're in okay, all you need to be is a wallet holder. I didn't know. I wasn't for sure what he meant. Yeah. You'll be on if you hold a wallet, a Tectum wallet, you're already on our mailing list. And if you're not getting emails, then you need to check your spam folder and make sure we're not going to spam. Okay, so make sure to do that. Oliver, I'm going to go ahead and call you out, buddy. What do you got?
So for the 20% reward, as a merchant, would it be valid to say, oh, you qualify for a 20% royalty or reward? What would be the appropriate wording to say to a merchant?
20% reward for are you talking about the 20% of the 1%?
Yeah.
The merchant is only earning 20% of his 1% if somebody happens to use those soft notes that he either minted or provided liquidity.
But that wouldn't be 20, that'd be 40.
So,
Well, if he did both.
so would it be
yes.
valid for him to say he'll be receiving some type of like, would we be considered a dividend for every transaction, or what would it be? The right word for it, or just,
I wouldn't be, the merchant is not necessarily, it's two separate things, right? One is being able to accept crypto at only 1%. The other is being involved in the Tectum pool of that 1%. So I'm not sure, there are two different things that you're saying to a merchant. I don't think you want to confuse them. And give me the predicament that you're referring to. Are you trying
like,
to
would
onboard?
it be called, like, let's say, oh, you be entitled to like a cashback reward for every transaction that you process as a merchant?
Yeah, you can't do that because every soft note would have to be a soft note that they either
Yeah,
filled or
only
provide
someone
liquidity or both.
Yeah, the only person that can earn right now are people that mint or provide liquidity, and usually people are gonna do both. Very few people are just gonna
Or node
provide liquidity.
operators.
Yeah. And people that actually operate nodes, that is correct. Hey,
so-
you know what? Oliver, I remember one AMA, you came out and just showed people how to actually mint soft nodes.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to do that tonight? And if you are willing, I'm gonna send you 10 free Tectum tokens for doing it. So if you can.
I'm on my desktop, so the last time I did, I was on my phones. It makes it more easier to my phone, but
Okay. Do you want to hang up and call back in on your phone?
let me see.
Because if you want to do that, like I said, I'll give you 10 free Tectum tokens for doing that if you want to.
I kind of like on my demonstration wallet, I kind of maxed out all my tokens, so I'm waiting to get some more tokens in. Because I have two wallets, so I already minted a lot on that wallet, and I did it. That was the last sample I was gonna. So I have to get more TET into the wallet.
Do you want me to send you some TET?
Sure. Do I just give you my ID?
Yeah, just go ahead and put your TET address right there in the chat, and I'll go into my Tectum wallet and send you 10 tokens right now.
All right, cool.
If you want, if that's
cool.
if that's something you want to do.
That's cool.
Just waiting on your address.
Sending it now.
Ken Maddox needs to be unmuted. Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Hey,
Yep.
guys, watch how easy this is. I mean, Oliver's just going to transfer his address. This could be your grandma, could be your grandpa, could be your aunt somewhere. It could be just your buddy who needs money to have fun in Vegas.
There you go, Mark.
And he's just going to send the wallet address and do an instantaneous transfer.
Yep, doing it right now.
Awesome.
And this is also how it's going to be so easy for retailers as well. And Oliver, let me jump back to your actual question. And so there's two processes here that you're connecting that aren't necessarily connected in this way. The first process are those who actually buy TET tokens, either mint or provide liquidity, and use those TET tokens in retail. And every time those particularly minted liquidity filled TET tokens are used in retail, there are two 20% fees that are paid back to whoever minted or filled it with liquidity. And so one person has an option for the 20% because they minted it, and 1% of 20% because they minted it, and the other one, or 20% of 1%, sorry. And the other one would get 20% of 1% if they did liquidity.
Yeah, it looks like he's sharing a screen. So go ahead, Oliver. We're gonna let you take over here for a second if you want to go ahead and do that.
I'm trying to, give me 1 second. So
And if you want to go back to sell, that's fine. You can just hang up and call back in. That's fine.
I'm gonna do that.
GB had asked the question, could you please give an example? And I figured Oliver's here. He did it last time. He did an awesome job. So I'd like to bring him back.
Let me,
So we'll wait for you. We'll wait for you, Oliver. Just go ahead and do that.
So I'm trying, okay.
Anybody else have a question in the meantime? Any other questions out there? Does each, okay, so Danielle asks, does each Tectum coin cost $3 or a partial of it? No, it's each Tectum token currently during the pre-sale is being offered at $3 a token. Yep, you're welcome. You can see a count on there too. If you go back to the website, you can see that our current soft cap left, it started at 500,000. It is currently at 447,621. So we are waiting for Oliver to come back and give us his great presentation of how to mint soft notes. Love having his participation. Let me go ahead. Let me see if Gerland has a question. I just unmuted you because you do have your hand up there, Gerland. Do you have a question?
No, it's not a question. It's regarding the mailing list. I think when we started, they said like you have to register from the back office for the waiting list to have the special.
Oh, you're talking about the special that was there whenever we shut down the pre-sale temporarily.
Yes,
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
for you to receive a email, you have to register from the office, and then you put your email and stuff like
right.
that, your ID. Then they will send you info about it. If you don't do that, they will not send you.
Yeah, okay, I'm not aware of that. I thought if you just, I mean, because I didn't do that when I set up my wallet, I was just automatically on the list. But you're talking about though the pre-sale special offer, right?
Yes.
I'm not sure. Dave, are you with us, or Ken? Do you know the answer to that?
Oh, man, I was muted out. I was talking. I was wondering why no one was listening. No, as long as you signed up for a wallet on Tectum, you should be getting regular emails on AMAs, and therefore you should be getting an email on the airdrop that we have. Are you currently getting any AMA emails?
I do, but
Okay,
before that, we didn't receive the special because we had to register. When you say like waiting list,
That's different. That's different. That
that's
was a
different now. Okay.
miscommunication.
Hey, hold on a
internally.
second. Hang in there.
That was supposed to have gone out to everybody.
Hang in there. Yeah.
Okay.
So Oliver, if you could take us to from the beginning, because that's what GB wanted.
Thank you.
And I think what you did
Awesome.
was you logged in with your
You're
Tectum
welcome.
ID, and then kind of explain what
Okay.
you're doing here, Oliver.
Okay, so it gives you an option. So log in with Tectum ID, and then you put your Tectum ID, which is my 2098. Then your second session, you receive a code into your once you click. Let me see. You click here. The reason I'm doing this process just to show you where the code will be here, but I already know my code.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna move forward because give me 1 second. First, I'm gonna leave that. So I got the code. Put in the code in. Your 6-digit code. And then my session is ready. So I go to action, and then I go to the mint house, and I go to mint. It's asking me which currency I want to mint. You could do BTC or USTD. And then you can choose the green stripe, which is the standard pack of 100 soft note, or the blue stripe, which is bigger denomination, higher denomination. We're gonna green stripes. The bot is loading. Okay, it's loading. There it goes. I successfully minted 100 soft note, but and the IDs are from 375,000 to 300. Okay, so then go back to the min house. Back to the min house. And then if you have some Bitcoin in your wallet, you can go to fill, start new fill. And then these are all the pack. This is an option of all the packs that I have minted. So let's say I just minted this fresh pack here. Did it twice. It's loading. And then I get my denomination. And I believe these are the 33. These are the $100 bills. There's the 24s are the $1 bill. So you can pick those. The $1 bills are easy to fill. I think that's a 20. That's a $20 bill. And then you have all your, these are all your bills. Now you can choose which soft note ID you would like to fill. You just click on it.
Great.
And then you go accept. It's loading. I don't have enough funds in that wallet. So that is just the basic process of minting and fulfilling.
Excellent. Pretty simple, isn't it?
Yes.
Awesome. I hope that answers your question, GB. You can see how simple it is. In order to get your soft note bot set up, you just basically go to the Telegram. It's through Telegram, and you can set it up there that way. Anybody have any questions? Thanks a lot, Oliver, for doing that. We appreciate
No
it. buddy.
problem. Oh, thanks for the tokens, man.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
No
All
problem.
right.
She said do the soft notes stay in the Tectum wallet? No, they stay in the bot.
Yeah, the soft notes actually are in the bot. That is correct.
And in other words, isn't it the soft note bot, the soft note exchange?
There will be a soft note exchange. Yeah, I mean, the soft note bot is an exchange in and of itself, but there will be a universal exchange where all Tectum members can actually interact and exchange soft notes and do that sort of thing.
Awesome.
Oh, of course. That's what's gonna make it huge. I mean, picture yourself like this. Let's say you're a merchant and you just received $100 that day in soft notes in Bitcoin. Okay. And rather than burn the soft note and pay the 3% fee, right? You'd rather go to the exchange. And if you want to go to that exchange, you could easily, ultimately find people on that exchange that can buy that Bitcoin for cash. They can buy it for USDT. They can buy it for, that particular soft note. They can send you exact Bitcoin for that soft note. And they're going to love doing it because, I mean, if you go to, for instance, to an exchange, let's say you go to Coinbase, for instance. And
yeah, but Mark, we're going to set it up so they're not going to need to spend, not the merchant, to move that. There's a way to move it into the exchange, and plus we're going to have a liquidity pool as well. But it's a little bit different for the merchant. Yeah, because otherwise you'd be looking at, the merchant looking at 1% plus a potential 3% if they can't sell it into our own ecosystem.
Yes.
But
and you're the expert on that, Dave, so I appreciate you saying that. But yeah, that's true. But anybody who wants to be able to go to, for instance, the exchange, like let's say I'm thinking about getting Bitcoin, right? And I'm thinking, where should I buy Bitcoin? Someone might come up and say, hey, you ought to get your Bitcoin on a soft note. Why? Because you can go to the soft note exchange and not have to pay the, for instance, 2.5% you would pay at Coinbase. You could buy it on the soft note and not pay any exchange fee, right? You could go to the soft note exchange and buy it. And that's what's going to be the benefit ultimately that I can see for having the soft note exchange, and the bigger it gets.
Yep.
Any other questions tonight? Anyone going once? Okay, we got Kevin here with a question. Hold on, Kevin, I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, so if I needed to use the Bitcoin for something as Bitcoin and some other purpose, the only thing I do, if I got it on a soft node, I'd have to burn the soft node to turn it back into not real Bitcoin, but that's not into Bitcoin.
To get
So I
Bitcoin
could,
off the soft note, yeah.
yeah, to actually use it as Bitcoin itself, not as just a place where the Bitcoin is being held.
Stored on a letter of credit, right?
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so then I'd have to suffer the burn fee
Right.
to be able to do that.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay, and then second note, the green stripe versus blue stripe. When would I use the blue stripe? Those are single soft notes.
Yeah, larger denominations. So if you wanted larger denominations and you didn't want to print, like for instance, or mint
Yeah.
100 bills, and you just wanted to do a blue stripe soft note, you could do that.
Okay, I mean, does it have to be bigger, or if I just wanted to, do a few to start with and not do like 100 or whatever it is, different
There's the
denominations?
only way, yeah, I mean, think about it this way. It's one Tectum token, and right now you can't use less than a Tectum token. So if we're going to give you 100 soft
Oh.
note bills, it's better than to say, well, I just want one of those. Don't give me 3. Don't give me 100. It's like, no, you want to go ahead and do all 100, because then you've got them. I mean, once you mint them, they're yours, and you can fill them with liquidity whenever you want.
How long is
Yeah.
that one TET per package going to be?
I don't know. We haven't talked about ending it in any time soon, but it won't last forever. It's
Okay.
just for now. And so take advantage of it while you
Yeah.
if you want.
So I do have time to work with.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Ken, I can unmute you if you want to make any points. I got GB says, I didn't realize my question was going to Oliver. Yes, it did, which is awesome because Oliver's one of our members of the community. Is it more effective or efficient to get BTC at Bitmart to transfer to Tectum wallet? If you're going to get we're not a Bitcoin exchange, so you would get Bitcoin wherever you want to, and you can transfer it to your Tectum wallet from wherever you want right now. If you were to actually get Bitcoin right now, purchase Bitcoin. And it says, I heard Mark say before, you can just buy something with a soft note, then you do not have to burn it. Yes, if you can go, I mean, right now it's not going to be real easy to do that yet, right? But the purpose of it is at one point, yeah, you're going to be able to use that soft note to buy things with it, and get value for it, of course, in Bitcoin, whatever the denomination is.
I think the questions refer because sometimes I use Cash App when I first made my purchase with TET. It was more convenient, it was quick and rapid. So I made an account with Cash App, bought $400 worth of Bitcoin, transferred that Bitcoin into the Tectum wallet, and it got them within less than 30 seconds. So I was happy with that and managed to make my purchase. Yeah. So Coinbase, Cash App, whichever is more convenient, easy to use.
Right. Yep. Whatever you want to do. Doesn't matter. The point is once it gets on that soft note, that's when it gets out in circulation for people to use, that's when it becomes free and instant for people. So you're welcome, GB. Anybody else have any questions before we end the call? Anyone? Gerland said, please do not forget to send me my Tectum. You got it. You got it. Make sure you contact David. David, put your Telegram in there.
At David Track.
At David Track. So contact him. You'll give him your details and he'll make sure you get those tokens. Congratulations. All right, guys. Great having you guys on. I hope you guys were able to understand the explanation and the intro, and I hope someone learned something new tonight. That would be awesome. That's what we're here for. And just want to congratulate everybody here for being early adopters of this project. It's awesome. We love this project, and we're glad that you guys are here. We really appreciate every one of you guys. We will see you guys on the next call. See y'all later.
And again, everybody, don't forget to be on the lookout for the airdrop, $150,000.
Oh,
Here it
yeah,
comes.
definitely.
It's coming.
All right. All right.
See y'all.